All right, thank you. Good morning. I'm Pamela Anders, Chair of the Commission on School Accreditation. The special call meeting of the Commission on School Accreditation is being held today, Thursday, September 25th, 2025, at 8 a.m. via teleconference. The public is available to attend from Senator Gray's Harris Boardroom, 359 Northwest Street, Jackson, Mississippi. The meeting is being live streamed via the NDE YouTube channel. An audio recording is being made of this meeting, and minutes of this meeting will be recorded. As I call the names of the commission members, please state the location of your presence for this meeting. Anthony Bryant, I believe he is absent today. Dr. John Mark Kane.
Audio County reading.
All right, thank you. And I believe Judge Cotton is absent today. Dr. Carla Evers.
Good morning. Pastor Shan, Mississippi, present.
Thank you. And I believe Patrice Guilfoyle is absent. Jeremy Ham.
He may join in later. He had said he was going to be here.
Okay, thank you. Tony Hirsch. Present. Brandon, Mississippi. Okay, thank you. And I'm Pam Manners, and I'm in Biloxi. Aisha Maxwell.
I believe she was going to join too, so she may jump on in a minute.
Okay. Carter Myers.
Yep, President, Oxford, Mississippi.
All right, thank you. Brad Stevens.
President, White Oak Ridge Farm, Monroe County.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Sarah Wilborn. President, Ellisville, Mississippi. Ingrid Williams. President, Clinton, Mississippi. All right, thank you. A quorum of the commission is present for the purpose of conducting this meeting. The meeting is called to order 35 a.m. We're on item number 2, the adoption of the agenda. And commission members should receive a copy of the agenda. Please note this is a special call meeting, and therefore the only business that can be transacted is that which has been specified in the call for this meeting. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion for approval of today's agenda. And as you make the motion, please identify yourself. May I have a motion? Sarah Wilborn, I make a motion. Thank you, Dr. Wilborn. May I have a second, please? I heard Dr. Evers as a second. Is there any discussion before we call for a vote? All right. Then if not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. We're on to item 3, which is an information item. Report of the Internal Review Committee and preliminary accountability results in accordance with Accreditation Policy 3.1.3 of the Mississippi Public School Accountability Standards 2025. And Mr. Alsborough will present this information. Good morning, Mr. Burrow.
Good morning. Hopefully everyone can hear me well. I'm Alan Burrow. I'm the Associate Superintendent over District School Performance, which covers assessment and accountability. And as mentioned, according to Accreditation Policy 3.1.3, which provides for requests for internal review of preliminary accountability results, the Internal Review Committee met on September the 4th, 2025 to review the requests for internal review of 2025 preliminary accountability results. There were, the policy requires that we have at least 4 MDE staff members present and 1 external member. We did have at least 4 MDE staff present and 1 external member. The MDE received requests from 26 districts for internal review of preliminary accountability results. These requests were initially reviewed by the Office of District and School Performance based on the business rules. Issues that were not clearly addressed by business rules were presented to the committee for review. Any information provided by the districts that had personally identifiable information was redacted. The committee reviewed each issue and then voted whether to grant the district's request or deny the request. In cases where the district asked the MDE to do something that was already being done, for example, include assessment scores that were already included and accountability measures. No action was taken because no changes were necessary. The decisions of the committee were communicated to the districts via correspondence on September the 9th, 2025, notifying them of the committee's decision. And the commission should have a detailed review of the decisions and the issues that were submitted. So I'll entertain any questions about those at this time.
Commission members, do any of you have questions for Mr. Burrow? All right, if not, thank you very much. And we're on then to item 4. And that's another discussion, and that's the district school performance reports for school year 2025-26 based on school year 2024-2025. And again, Mr. Burrow will present the information.
Okay, and we have a PowerPoint that we'll pull up. Oh, we already had it up. Sorry. I was expecting the introductory slides.
Well, I got ahead of you, go ahead.
Well, these first couple slides just cover the vision and mission and the strategic plan goals, which accountability really touches on just about all of these.
We need everyone to mute yourself if you're not speaking. We're getting some feedback.
So, I talk about the vision works to accomplish our overall goal, which is to prepare students to be successful, and the mission is the work of the agency every day, which also includes policy development and accountability measures. So very, very important information that we will review today. So you can skip over this one. And okay, so as mentioned, this is data from the 24-25 school year. Is used to assign accountability measures for this academic year 25-26 based on 24-25 data. Also to note, graduation rates that are included in accountability are lagged 1 year, so the rates included this year are from spring 2024 graduates. We will bring graduation rates to the board again in January or February each year. The accountability system relies heavily on academic growth, and I wanted to point out that coming out of the pandemic, we had increased growth levels that were reflective of the recovery of academic achievement as students adjusted back after the pandemic. This year, we've already presented assessment data, but this year we saw a plateauing of proficiency rates in the state aggregate, which consequently will show lower overall growth. So one of the strategic plan goals, goal 6, is every school or district's rated C or higher. So we report the percentage of districts and schools that are C or higher each year. So you can see that we had increases coming up through last year, and then we have a slight decrease this year. The next slide just shows geographic representation of grade assignments across the state, just as a FYI. The next one is a chart showing the percentage of schools and districts that are rated an A or B, and we show this slide because this is addressed in Mississippi Code, Section 371765C, which is on the next slide. That addresses when standards should be reset for school and district performance, and that is when 75%, when student proficiency is at 75%, or when 65% of schools and/or districts are earning a grade of B or higher. We hit that target the last couple of years. We've dropped slightly below it this year, but we have initiated standard setting for the accountability system, and we are working through that process, which is on the next slide. So we had discussions with the Accountability Task Force. The Accountability Task Force is a group of stakeholders primarily from school districts that provide feedback to the department whenever we're looking at policy changes around accountability. They discussed this issue of standard setting in January of 2025. We released preliminary data to districts in August and used that preliminary data to initiate standard setting meetings in September. So we had our first standard setting committee meeting September the 9th. And we also we will release final accountability results in September. So October, we will have the standard setting meeting again. They'll look at more impact data from these results and discuss the standard setting decisions that will be made. And then our goal is to publish those cuts by the end of October for the 25-26 school year. And then in the spring of 2026, we plan to run the accountability system using those newly established standards to show what grades would have been for schools and districts based on last year's data, just as in preparation of the upcoming accountability year. Next slide, we'll move into this year's accountability results. So this is just a comparison of the state aggregate of each component of the accountability system from 24 to 25. You'll see some slight decreases. As I mentioned before, we saw some declines in proficiency in all subject areas over last year, not substantial decreases, so more kind of, as I mentioned, a plateauing effect. But those are reflected here at the state aggregate. Although we did see increase in reading growth and low growth for reading. Interesting enough, I wanted to point out here that a lot of studies showed that the pandemic impacted math performance more so than reading, and interesting to see that here. We had increases in acceleration, college and career readiness, and English learner progress. So now we'll talk about district level performance. So this slide will show several years of data around how we have assigned letter grades for districts. So you have a count and percent for each of these. So you'll see some slight declines in letter grade assignments for districts. Of note, we have the same count of districts this year as we did last year, and also note the district list includes charter schools. We have 10 charter schools in the state. The next slide shows how grades move within districts from one year to the next. So the way to read this chart is to start on the left-hand side. That is the 2024 grade assignment. So for example, districts with a B grade assignment in 2024, we had 3 that moved up to an A in 2025, 28 that remained a B, 18 that dropped to a C, and 1 that dropped to a D. Also note on that chart, it will only include districts with grade assignments in both years. Some charter schools may not have a grade assignment in both years. The next table just shows the accountability components that are used in, oh, you can go back up one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The accountability components that are used in the overall score for districts. So each of these components have a score assigned to them and are weighted. They roll up into composite score that we use to assign grades to schools and districts. And then the next slide will show the top 10 districts in the state based on their composite score from those components. And then next we'll move forward to schools. So same information for schools. This one is your count and percentage of grade assignments. We have slightly fewer schools this year at 850. Okay, you can move to the next one. So again, this just shows grade assignments and how they've moved from one year to the next. So we see here at the school aggregate, fairly equal movement up and down in grade assignments. Next slide will show the components that are for 700-point schools. So these are elementary and middle schools, or schools without 12th grade. So these are the components for those schools. And those roll up into a composite score that are used to assign the letter grades. And the next slide will break down those grade movements for 700-point schools or elementary and middle schools. Again, we see movement in both directions here. Slightly more count went down a letter grade. And then the next slide shows the top 10 700-point schools in the state based on their composite score. Next slide will show the indicators for high schools, which is consistent with districts. Districts are graded as one large school through K through 12. So this is our components for high schools. And then the next slide will show the grade movement for those particular schools, high schools. Fairly even movement up and down in letter grade assignments. Of note, we don't have any F 1,000-point schools or high schools this year. And then the next slide will reflect the top 10 1,000-point schools or high schools within the state based on their composite scores. And this is composite score out of 1,000 points. And then the next slide, just wanted to point out that let me first say that the commission does have a report of the accountability letter grades by district and school. These files will be posted on MDE's website. There's a reporting website for accountability data. We post those there, but there's also a much more friendly and resourceful page that's the Mississippi Succeeds report card. And all of the data that feeds into the accountability system, including assessment data, is accessible through this site. Schools you can search by school and get each of their component performance and their overall scores. And a lot more data is reflected on the Mississippi Succeeds report card for each school than is reported specifically in accountability results. So it's a very good resource. If any of you have not utilized it, please do. And we will have all of the data posted after the board meeting today for the current accountability year. So at this point, I will entertain any questions about what we've just presented.
Commission members, do any of you have any questions for Mr. Burrow? All right, then at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the district school performance classifications for school year 2024-25 based on school year 2024-25. As you make the motion, please identify yourself for the record. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Brad Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens. And may I have a second, please? Sarah Wilborn, second. Thank you, Dr. Wilborn. All right, is there any discussion before we take this for a vote?
Can we do one last check to see if anybody signed on late?
Sure.
Mr. Ham, are you on?
I am. I'm in Carthage, Mississippi.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
Let's see. Okay. Is there anyone else that tapped in after we began the session? I think just Mr. Ham.
And I didn't catch in my notes. Is Miss Maxwell on?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, we have Anthony Bryant, Judge Cotton, Patrice Guilfoyle and Aisha Maxwell.
Out,
Not
okay.
having signed it.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, is there any discussion? Oh, go ahead. Is there any discussion before we vote to approve the district school performance classifications for school year 2025-26? All right, then at this time, all those in favor, please say aye. 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 Any opposed? Thank you, the motion carries. Our next item is item 6, and that's adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, and please identify yourself. We have a motion.
Motion to adjourn, Carter Myers.
All right, thank you, Mr. Myers. And may I have a second, please?
John Martin, all good.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kane. And all those in favor, please say aye. 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 All right, we stand adjourned at 8:54 a.m. Thank you all very much, and congratulations to all the districts who did so well this year. I know it's been tough, especially after the pandemic, getting back to normal. It looks like we're really moving ahead, so thank you very much for everything.